The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Urban Wellness and Beauty, featuring weekly commentary on urban health, beauty, and lifestyle. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Urban Wellness and Beauty.
Go, 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 go. Hey, Madison. Go, shawty. It's your birthday. We go like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi. Hey, but this is a healthy way. This is a healthy show, so we're not gonna sip Bacardi on your birthday.
We're gonna sip lemon water.
We're gonna sip lemon water on it because it's your birthday. Well, for those of you who are listening, we're playing this song right now because it's Madison Chase's birthday, you guys.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Madison.
Actually, it's on Sunday. It's the day before Barack Obama's.
Oh, you had to add that in there.
I mean, I did.
You had to add that in there.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, welcome back, people. Those of you listening, those of you watching, to another sit down of Urban Wellness and Beauty. I'm your host, Cortez G. West. Of course, you don't see Chloe, Onyx, and Jacqueline today, but we're going to have them come back. As a matter of fact, we're going to actually make Chloe. You hear that, Chloe? We're going to make you call in next week. You hear that? But along with me, I do have my beautiful other co-hosts.
Hey, I'm Madison Chase. I'm your trainer to the stars and the star in you, because I feel like everybody is a star. You just need someone to help you make more powerful choices. So I want to know, what is your pick? There's power in your choices. So
That's what I'm
my
talking
goal
about.
is to help you make powerful choices. I'm Madison Chase.
Sounds good. Hey everyone, I am Erica, you're a beauty blogger. I'm bringing you some tips and tricks and information on skincare, makeup, and healthy things as well.
Well, that's what's up. But let's get right into it, people. I want to get to our hot topic and go right on over to Erica, because Erica has our hot topic for today. She has said something about sunscreen, right?
Sunscreen, yes. So today's hot topic is on DIY sunscreen and how it might be harmful for your skin. So as you know, DIY everything is on the rise right now with clothing, skincare, makeup, almost everything. So a lot of beauty bloggers are actually making this trend popular with sunscreen, making it at home, because they're claiming that store-bought sunscreen actually contains harmful chemicals that can even be bad or worse than the sun. But dermatologists are claiming not to make this DIY sunscreen because it can even promote melanoma and skin cancer. So what's the deal then? If either of them are bad, then what's the deal? So dermatologist Whitney Bowe, she told Mail Online, this was an article published by Mail Online last month, she told them that making it using your own sunscreen is putting your skin at risk for melanoma. Sunscreen companies invest millions formulating and testing to ensure that they're stable and safe. Tests are done in the lab and on humans to ensure that they provide broad spectrum protection and that the ingredients remain stable and that they are active when mixed together and exposed to the heat and sun. So she is stating that making sure that you don't use homemade sunscreen because they contain harmful chemicals, or they contain products that actually can make your skin worse and can actually promote damage to your skin.
So what are the harmful ingredients? Do you know?
I cannot pronounce all the harmful ingredients, but I do know that she is stating that you really shouldn't make it by yourself at home because it can actually promote skin cancer. But also bloggers are claiming not to use it. So I was trying to figure out, well, then what can you use? There's actually chemicals in there that are actually good to use when you make it yourself, like zinc oxide. But there's also other chemicals that can be bad as well. So it really depends on what can you use. So what I found out is that you can actually use some products that actually are beneficial, that actually do contain products like zinc and titanium oxide that aren't harmful for your skin.
And now, it's funny that you're saying zinc, because I actually, I've never really been to a beach before until I moved to California. So when I came out here, so I was never a person that likes to be in the sun. Recently, I went to the beach, and I did not put on any sunscreen. I love the tan that I got, but maybe like after 2 or 3 days, I was a little nervous because I've never had it before. But on my arms, it was like peeling. Like literally, my arms were like drying and peeling. Like I can literally peel skin off me.
Yeah.
I freaked out. And I told my homie that was with me, and he was like, well, you know, that's a sunburn. And I was like, oh, wow, I never knew that African American can have a sunburn. I'm dumbfounded to this. I never knew. Yeah. So with this homemade sunscreen, like, can African American use it as well? Because I know that
I think that's a really big misconception that African Americans shouldn't use sunscreen.
Right. So that's my whole thing. Okay.
And I don't know if that was really a sunburn, because sunburns actually hurt. Like they.
Yeah, it didn't hurt.
Okay, if
well,
it didn't hurt.
actually, it did in the beginning. Because like if
Okay.
I rubbed against it, like if I was in the shower and I scrubbed too hard on my shoulders, it did sting a little.
That was it more so the scrubbing than the actual.
And the rubbing from my shirts. So like sometimes when I put on my shirts or whatever,
Okay.
I would rub it from the shirts or whatever. It did kind of make it feel a little bit uncomfortable.
But everyone should wear sunscreen.
Yeah,
but I
totally.
think you have to be very careful with like what you use and how you make it, because homemade sunscreen, if you're not doing it right, like there are ingredients in it that are beneficial, but if you're not doing it right, then it could be more harmful than good. But there actually are companies that do use products that are actually harmful and actually can cause infertility, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, developmental issues in boys and girls.
Jeez.
So that's why I was like, oh, then if either of them can cause cancer, then what can you do? So there are actually sunscreens that are actually good to use that you can buy at the store that don't contain any fragrance, that are non-toxic, they don't have any chemicals in it. And some of these brands are the Honest Company, which is by Jessica Alba.
Because there's like.
Yeah, there are some, and the
Yeah.
main ingredient in these that are safe are zinc oxide and titanium oxide. And the Honest brand is one. Botanicals is one. Alba Botanicals is
Oh,
one.
yeah, those are
Badger,
good.
Climb Up, Sun Stuff. Those are some brands that actually contain chemical-free sunscreen. So it just kind of freaked me out because I was thinking, like, I'm really big on protecting my skin and sunscreen. But to be honest, I was always using store-bought sunscreen. I never thought about looking at ingredients.
So-
but if it's going to cause, defects and things as well, then it's something to really look into, and looking in these ingredients, making sure that they don't contain these harmful chemicals.
So what are you making when you say a homemade sunscreen? Tell me, if you were to say, well, Cortez, some of these over-the-counter sunscreens that have some really bad things for your skin, and you should consider making it at home.
I think
What
well,
am I
I-
making?
Well, that's the thing, is these dermatologists are saying not to make it at home.
Yeah.
Because if you make it at home, if you're not making it right or mixing it right, it can actually do more harm than good. A lot of these sunscreens people use and make at home actually contain certain oils that can actually absorb light and even cause more penetration to your skin. This happened to me actually when I was in high school. I had a V-neck shirt on. I had for some reason, I put some Vaseline right there, just in that little area. When I got home and had my shirt off, it was just such a dark triangle.
Right.
I never had it like so dark like that because that Vaseline really sucked in that
penetrated the
light.
sun,
It really
yeah.
penetrated a lot. So if people are making these sunscreen at home, putting in like a jojoba oil, coconut oil, certain oils that have these minerals in it and oils in it, it actually can absorb the light and even penetrate it more. And that's why dermatologists are issuing these warnings saying don't make it at home. It can
So
be
that's
more
why you
harmful.
titled it a dangerous trend. So
Yeah, that's
you're
why it's a
saying
dangerous
that,
trend.
okay, so you're saying that you actually buy over the counter.
I'm saying that I always bought over the counter, right? I always bought over the counter, not knowing that there was actually harmful ingredients in store bought as well. So what I'm saying is that if it's bad to use to make it at home and it's bad to buy at the store, then what options do we have? And then that's why I was saying, well, there's actually options where you can actually buy chemical-free sunscreens. And that's why I'm saying you should always check the ingredients, because I didn't know when I was buying sunscreen that there was actually chemicals in it that can do harm for me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know making it at home would be harmful for me either.
I could
So
see that.
now that I know that, it makes me actually more conscious. Like, well, when I buy sunscreen now, let me make sure I'm buying ones that are chemical-free, that contain zinc and titanium, and that actually don't have all these crazy chemicals that could do more harm than good.
Have you done that
know?
already? You've done that already? You shop for one?
Well, I'm going to now.
Oh, okay,
I'm going
okay.
to now, yeah.
I was like, well, tell me so I know,
Yeah.
because I'm in California now and I want to make sure I don't get that again.
And I never knew this, and I'm really big on protecting my daughter too. My daughter's only 5 years old, so I'm big on protecting her from the sun as well. But if
Right.
these types of sunscreen contains chemical that can cause like early puberty and developmental issues in young girls and boys, then I don't want my 5-year-old using them.
Exactly.
So now as a mother and as someone who's a consumer, I need to make sure that I'm actually purchasing sunscreen that contain good qualities that are actually going to help my skin and not harm it, and that don't have chemicals in it. But I also don't recommend doing it at home, because as these dermatologists are saying, is that they spend millions of dollars on testing, making sure that they actually are working and are stable and effective. People making it at home aren't doing that kind of stuff. So you can make it, and yeah, you might use ingredients that might be good like zinc, but if you're not making it right or mixing it right, even mixing it wrong can do more harm than good.
See, and that's good to know, because like with me, having my very first time been, whatever it was, burned by the sun or whatever it may have been, I'm really like shocked. I love the way it looked, like the tan, because I never really go outside. I go outside, but I don't sit in the sun or stay in the sun like that. So that's really good to know. So to me, well, can they like go on iTunes and subscribe to us or whatever? Either follow like Erica online and ask her, or maybe you can post those things that we should look for in those ingredients.
You guys can check out my blog, Lipstick and Lunges. I'll make a whole post on that and go into more depth on the DIY sunscreen, and it's a good for you and bad for you, and on the store-bought sunscreens. And I'll list the chemicals that they have in there as well, and I'll list some options that you guys can use. So I would just stay away from making it yourself, because you might do more harm than good. You might actually promote more skin cancer on you.
And I've seen people at the beach with like a bottle that they probably just made something in and just started putting. I was like, that doesn't look
But you know what? Back
commercial.
in the day, I know people used to use baby oil, and they used to use stuff, but that's more so for like tanning purposes, and that's probably why they use the jojoba oil and all those other oils. But I think you made a good point too, Erica. You said if you can't, and I think that's like anything that has like ingredients that are actually listed, and all products should list ingredients, even like at the Whole Food store when you go to buy some packaged goods. Like if you can't read the ingredients, you should be cautious about actually using them. But one of the things you said was if you can't understand the ingredients, then 9 times out of 10, it's probably not something you want on your body.
Right.
And especially when you're talking about your pores, like your pores are very porous. Like it's going to be internalized into your body because your pores actually take in what's on the outside.
Well, speaking of pores and skin, like let's talk about this. You say you research something on reducing pimples, because I definitely want to know that.
So another 401 is on Manuka honey. So honey is known for having antibacterial and antimicrobial properties in it, and was actually used in ancient Egypt as well to treat wounds. And this is raw Manuka honey, and Manuka honey is great. It's different in this than real honey.
Sorry.
What's funny?
That just sounds like a name. Manuka honey. Come on, Manuka honey.
And Manuka honey is different from regular honey in the sense that it contains high concentrations of antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties in it. So, and it has more than any other type of honey. So it's actually been known to use, a lot of people use this actually to treat their pimples. Now, does it actually cure acne? I don't know if I would say it actually cures acne, but this is what a dermatologist had to say about it. This is what he states. So this is from Dr. Frank, a cosmetic dermatologist. He states that it is merely a Band-Aid for acne. While it does have a soothing and calming quality on the skin, it can help with reducing the appearance due to its inflammatory properties, but it's not a solution or cure. So basically, this is what I took from it. What I took from it is that Manuka honey can help with inflammation, redness. It can help to like soothe it down and calming because of the properties in this honey, but it doesn't actually cure the acne and get rid of the actual solution. A lot of acne is caused from bacteria internally, and it's actually caused from hormones as well. Yeah. So if something's internally causing acne, something externally isn't going to counteract that. It's just not. It can help with the appearance of it, and it can help reduce it. So it might be good for a date night. It might be good for a photo shoot to help with the redness and calming it down, but it won't actually cure it. So that's my take on it. I feel like it would help with reducing it, but as a cure, I don't think so.
Well, that's good to know. But speaking of honey, it's like, I think, we do know that honey can be used in multiple different ways.
Oh, yeah.
So would you say that Manuka honey, could you use that the same way we use as far as like with me coughing right now?
You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's actually a very good point, because this Manuka honey, you can even take as spoonfuls as well. Some people take it daily just to promote and maintain good health. You can mix it with your tea. You can mix it with yogurt. You can eat it with food. Just like use it like you would in regular honey. It's the same thing. And you can take it daily to help promote and help with your gut. It helps with your gut as well and keep your bacteria down. Like, it's great for all that. And like I said, this has the highest concentration of antibacterial properties in it, higher than any other type of honey. So if you're going to do it and really help to promote your health from the inside, this would be the best honey to use. And Manuka honey is actually from these honeybees that are in New Zealand and Australia. They favor the Manuka tree. So that's where these honeybees are from, and that's where they produce the Manuka honey. Yeah. So
it's funny you said that about that honey can be used for as far as health, because on last week I talked about, maybe it was a couple of weeks before, a couple of episodes before, I spoke of how you can have energy a natural way before your workout.
Right.
And taking a spoonful of honey gives you that energy boost naturally. You know, if you don't want to take anything that's, you know, whatever they put out in the stores these days, but kind of like a pre-workout. So, and I did try it. I did tell you I was going to try it. I tried it and it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked for me. It gave me, to me, it was like a sugar rush. For me, it was.
Right.
But it was something that I knew that was more safe than high fructose, what is it? Fructose
Yeah.
syrup. So I was like, So I'm going to try to keep doing that more because I don't want to get into this habit of going to GNC or any store and getting these products that people are making for me to get energy. I feel like we are, you know, organically made to boost our own energy.
Absolutely.
So if I get enough rest, try this. I'm going to actually try Manuka honey.
I was going to say there's probably a big difference between raw Manuka honey versus like honey from the 99
right.
cents.
And I tried
I've always felt like if you're going to do it right. So if you're
Yeah.
going to get Manuka honey for benefits, get the raw Manuka honey because you want the most benefits. Now, raw Manuka honey is more pricey than regular honey. It can be, you can find it online. I think Whole Food stores might carry it too, but it is more pricey. But it's one of those things where it's like it's more money, but it's also more beneficial as well. So you use it at your own discretion, you know, and see what works for you.
And it says organic bee farms.
Exactly. So it's
So,
organic. Yeah.
yeah.
Organic raw is always the best.
Yeah, which makes a huge difference, I think, versus the
I think so.
processed, pasteurized.
Of course,
I'm sure
yeah.
the other is pasteurized, which means it's probably heated up a little bit. So
Another thing too is
nice.
if you use certain products like these that contain other ingredients, you're not going to have as much of it, you know. And if something
That's
is,
true.
and like you know what, like Moroccan oil, for example, there's certain oils that we have out here, like Moroccan oil, that's from certain brands that claim that it's that oil,
Yeah, and
but
it's
they
really
have the
not.
smallest percentage in it, the smallest, and they
Yeah.
have everything else in it. So if you want to get the best, you have to get all of it, get the raw, get the most, all of it without any extra ingredients. So you know you're getting all of it.
100%.
That's
So,
the
Madison,
best
are you
way, yeah.
saying honey is a good for like pre and post workouts?
Absolutely, and I think you just touched on that.
Okay.
So one of the things that I'm totally not a fan of like energy drinks, recovery
Right.
drinks, just because you never know what's in it. So
Exactly. And you don't know how it's going to affect you because it
And-
will affect everyone differently.
Totally. And I think that's the most important thing. So I think depending on what kind of workout you're doing, if you're, you know, and your goals, like I'm a big proponent of what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Because like one simple thing is not going to be the solution for a bigger issue. Like if you're trying to lose 100 pounds, like having honey post workout, it'll probably do some good for you and some benefit, but the most important thing for that person that needs to lose that amount of weight is going to be what you're eating
Right.
overall.
Nutrition.
Yeah, your calorie intake versus
Right.
your calorie output of as far as, you know, working out. So I totally think that honey before your workout, because it doesn't spike your glycemic index level, so your body has time to really absorb
Right.
the honey versus going straight into your bloodstream, because you're actually, when you're working out,
It actually utilizes the honey.
It
Yeah.
actually utilizes the honey, but also your blood. And I'm a huge proponent, like too, I love when you first start working out, especially when you're working your larger muscle groups, your heart has to pump the blood
yes.
to your lower extremities. So depending on what kind of workout you're doing and what your goals are for that day. Now, if you're lifting a lot of weights, then you probably want to do more honey. Yeah. So it just depends. It's hard to say, especially because we're talking so broad when we're talking about fitness, but it's definitely a better alternative than, you know, Gatorade or any of those pre or post workout recoveries. But I also think you could add a little bit of cinnamon to it. And I know we talked a lot about cinnamon helps to burn fat.
Oh, nice.
But I also
didn't know that.
think, but I also think, I know we talked a lot about apple cider vinegar. I think that was our first or second. I'm not really sure.
I think it was like our second.
Yeah. But I think adding apple cider vinegar, like 3 tablespoons to that. And
To
then
honey?
The honey, yep.
Okay.
And adding a little bit of water. You could sip on that either before or after your workout. I think that
Just regular, like room temperature like it is.
I mean, I would say pH balanced water. I'm a fan
Okay.
for pH balanced water and the apple cider vinegar and some honey. You could add a tablespoon, but I'm a fan of the raw organic honey versus the honey that you get the cheap honey.
Right.
Because then you don't need as much because it's more concentrated.
Yeah,
I
so
feel
not that honey you get from KFC when you want that biscuit. Or Churches.
like churches.
Or Churches.
Yeah, not that honey. Not that honey. Definitely
So
not that
green
honey.
tea is compatible to that as well, with using the honey and the apple cider and all that?
I just say green tea. I think that's a good thing to drink before you get up. When I was just thinking about other liquids that you could add, like some people don't necessarily like water and they want a little bit more taste, but green tea would also be a good alternative to add to the honey.
Yeah.
And you could have it cold or you could have it hot depending on where you are. Because we're in California, so we would want it to be, hot.
Yeah, so does that compare to the ABC 123 system?
You know what? No, when you're talking about broad term workouts, I'm a huge fan of getting back to the basics. So for me, the ABCs are pretty much knowing the basics, getting back to the basics.
Okay.
And just knowing, like I said, there are 7 like power moves, and we talked about squats,
Yes, lunges and
your
planks.
core. Because I feel like we're so overwhelmed with so many things, and this is just where I am when it comes to personal training and working with clients. We're so overwhelmed with, everybody's got a fitness program. Everybody's got the best. Do this and you could lose 10 pounds. Do this and you could lose. But if you keep going on that treadmill and that, like the hamster in the treadmill, or the hamster in the, the hamster in the ball?
Yeah.
You'll keep trying different things and you'll never get your results because you're actually just looking for the new quick fix, and there's no quick fix, and it's only the basics. So the ABC 123 system is just really figuring out what's going to work for your schedule, what's going to work for your lifestyle. Like some people say, oh, don't eat after 7, but if you work at night, that doesn't work for you.
ABC is easier than 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, ABC 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty much the ABC 1, 2, 3 system. It's just really getting back to the basics and figuring out, 1, are your goals realistic? 2, do you have an accountability partner? 3, what motivates you? Because what motivates me may not motivate you. So for me, it's music. For me, it's, and really finding somebody that's dependable to be an accountability partner for you, and setting realistic goals and make sure that you check in with people who you could trust. Because sometimes you don't want to tell everybody what you're doing.
So basically, the ABC 1, 2, 3 system would be a system that I could exercise with a partner.
With a partner. And so pretty much here are a couple of like the basic exercises, like the squat. I love the squat. I think this is the best exercise. And I like to say, like, really sitting back in your heels, that's like my #1 cue.
I do. And do not let that knee go past your toes, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Please do not let that knee go past your toes. So for what I mean by that, let's go back to the first picture. If what I mean by that, with those of you who are listening, if you could picture in your mind during a squat, and let's go ahead. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, go
Okay.
ahead.
So let's. To me, I like to kind of think of a 45-degree angle. So, no, is it 90? 45 or 90?
It's
What is
45,
that?
yeah.
45-degree angle. So with that being said, is when you squat, you want to feel uncomfortable. So you want to stick your butt out.
Yep.
And then sit.
Yep.
And you want to look at your knees, and as long as your knees are not past your toes, then you're fine. You're doing a good squat. Sometimes hold it. I always like to make my clients hold for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's great.
I let them. I sit down. I even push them down sometimes and hold for 2 seconds. I really do.
Cortez.
So, so as a partner with the ABC 1, 2, 3 system, all you two would do is just grab each other's wrist, not the hand, the wrist. So you grab the wrist of your partner, and you both do squats in front of each other.
Yeah, but
Okay.
using that, I think people don't counterbalance because the squat should feel like you're about to fall.
Exactly.
So you
Backwards,
have to,
yeah.
It should feel like you're about
And
to
that's the
fall
purpose
backwards.
of you having a partner
That's
with this
exactly,
system.
yep.
And with the next one will be the lunge, right?
The lunge is the next exercise.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the 1, 2, 3, the 7 power moves. So we'll just go the first 3.
Okay.
But yeah. So the same thing with the knee not going over the third toe. Like you want to make sure that if you were in a straight line, a vertical line, so your ankle and your knee should be in a vertical line in that lunge. Same thing.
And also, people, when you're doing a lunge, when you're doing a lunge by yourself, keep your back straight. So many people, I see people use weights sometimes with lunges, which is okay, which is actually perfect because I actually use weights with my lunges as well. But to do a proper lunge, leaning forward is not helping. It's
and
not
you put more
helping.
pressure
And
on
you put
your
on
knee on your knee. Yeah.
It doesn't
Who
work,
wants to do
people.
that? You need your knees.
Yeah.
I want my knees.
That's why they say live with your knees.
I have a question about the lunges. 'Cause I know
Okay.
sometimes when I do lunges, sometimes like my knee, like it doesn't go. I don't go all the way to the floor. Am I supposed to go all the way to the floor?
It depends.
Or how far from the ground?
Now, for
am
me,
I?
what I do is I've come up with a way to where I let my knee tap the ground.
Okay.
But I don't hit it. That's the difference. I don't hit the ground with my knee.
Okay.
I let it tap it because that gives me, especially when I have weights, it makes me work harder on this. Whatever leg that's not touching the ground, whatever's knees that's in that angle.
In the front.
In the front.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I want to put as much coming up. I want to put as much strain on that, on those quads and the glutes in the area.
And the hamstring.
Exactly, in the hamstring.
Yeah.
So I like to let it touch the ground, but not hit the ground. That's the difference.
Yeah. And that's a good marker, Erica, too.
Okay.
Like if you want to let it tap the
Yeah.
ground,
Yeah.
and you want to
Yeah.
make sure again that it's in. Like if I always like to think in lines, like that back leg, the knee,
Is
and
an
the
L.
hip should be like in a straight line, in
L.
a vertical L.
Is it bad if it doesn't tap the ground at all?
Well, you're not putting as much effort on
the working
your
leg?
hamstring. Yeah,
What if you
exactly.
counteract it with weights?
Yeah, but same thing. Well,
Because I don't normally use weights, but I'm thinking if I
I'm a
do,
little
I would
hard.
still have a better
I'm
workout.
a little hard, and Madison probably agrees with me too. No, go down regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let that
Go all
knee
the way
touch.
down.
And what if you have knee problems? Then
Good
you
question.
might not want your knee hitting the ground.
Good
right?
question. Well, it's not necessarily hitting the ground. You're kind of like you're tapping,
Grazing.
like you're just like because
Letting it
what you're doing. What I catch a lot of people doing when they're doing lunges is when they do a lunge. At Madison said they lean forward, and it's like they're pushing themselves to pull the next leg over, and that's not really doing the exercise. That is what's really straining your knees. So if you already have a knee problem, just do it properly, and it won't hurt. And don't be afraid to. I see some people sometimes, it may be kind of hard to explain, but when they're doing a lunge, I make whatever leg is going to tap the ground, I have them bring that up to their chest or bring it up. So I have them bring their knee up and then place it. So it's like you're stepping out long.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I see the
Does
visual.
that make sense?
Or you
Okay.
could always do like a really long lunge, like taking that leg really far back so that the front leg has to do most of the work. Yeah.
And then instead of just bringing it so like if you're in that position right there, instead of bringing that back leg to your side leg, I just tell them to bring it right on up
To their chest.
and step out. Exactly. And step out. And that'll give you like a good pull
Yeah.
on that muscle on your hamstring.
And a good way too to really make sure that you're working the working leg, the leg that's in front, is I like to do reverse lunges, like go backwards versus forward. 'Cause
Yes.
You're naturally your body weight is gonna fall backwards versus if you're going forward, you have more of a chance to actually do it incorrectly.
Yeah. And the last one we have the planks, which are my favorite.
Yeah, they're my favorite too.
I think planks are amazing to me, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because
Yeah.
they
If you
really,
do 'em
really,
right.
I
if you
like
do
them
them
too.
correctly,
Yeah.
yes. If you do them correctly, and I always like to make, people sometimes get a little lazy when they do planks. That it's like that between your buttocks and your shoulders, like people like to dip in that area and get lazy.
Or they like to stick their butt up.
Butt up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say stick your butt up, but I don't mean like stick it up in a triangle kind of way. I kind of keep people from having that arch in their back to be so lazy when doing a plank.
Yeah.
So in the ABC 1, 2, 3 system, what you would do is do the opposite arm of your partner. So it would be my right to Madison's right.
Yeah.
And of course, my other arm, our left arm, are holding us, balancing us
Yeah.
up. And I've actually never tried this, actually.
Yeah, but you know, it's more like a tap.
Tap,
Yeah,
and then you go
on the
back and you
ground.
tap.
Exactly.
I was
Left,
gonna say
right.
because holding it that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Well, no, you will
I'm sure
hold
you
your
could do
left.
it though, Cortez. I'm sure
probably
you could do it.
You would just hold your left
You saying I can't
plank.
do it?
Yo, you guys can do it too. Of
I think
course.
we all could do
I
it.
think all you guys.
Right,
except
and when
me.
you're doing it by yourself, I want to know, Madison, what you do when you're doing a plank, because I actually keep mine's
Your chest?
shoulder width
Yeah.
when my
Yep.
my arms.
I'm all about lines. and
But I've seen
symmetry.
people do it triangular, like almost in a triangle push-up.
That's interesting.
And I don't know if is that as effective. I have not tried it, but I've seen people do a plank, you guys, with
Maybe
like
it's a comfort thing where it's just easier for them to do it like that.
Well, to me, I kind of feel like it's not giving, you're not having enough way of balancing. It's kind of like, to me, like this, you're balancing more and you're putting more, effort into trying to plank. But if you do that, you might as well just go ahead and push up and do a push up.
yeah, and that might be more of a challenging way because I know when your base is smaller, it's a little bit
It's a
more
bit,
challenging.
and
Yeah,
that
'cause you
may,
have to
and that
balance.
actually may really work.
Yeah,
Now that I think
it
about it,
may-
because
it
if you're
may
doing a
work.
diamond, because
Yeah.
that means you have to really
You
focus
have
on
to really
balancing.
focus on balancing.
wow.
And use more of your obliques if you're doing a closer in plank.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
actually
That
pretty
actually
good.
would work your obliques
Yeah,
more.
will work your
Yeah, it
obliques
would.
more because
Yeah.
it's more symmetrical. You have more, especially when, like, if you were doing a push-up and your feet were wider, it's definitely easier. But if you bring your feet in more, when your base is more narrow, your body has to fire differently to maintain your balance.
Right, it's funny. And if you guys could go back to maybe 2 weeks before, we had Jacqueline actually doing a plank. She played a video for us. So if you can go back and see how straight her line was and how straight she was and how secure she was in her position, and try it at home. And what I like to do, I like to try to during commercials, kind of something like that, and I just plank, or sometimes I just play a song.
I was gonna say play a song.
Yeah, I'll play a song, and do it in increments, guys. So don't do your first plank and you trying to do 30 minutes or 20 minutes of a plank or 5 minutes of a plank. No, do it in increments.
Yeah, probably more like
do
25
do
seconds.
20 seconds and then do
Yeah.
25 seconds, then 30
Absolutely.
seconds, something like that, you guys. Just don't go straight into it. But if you have any other questions, actually, we've really been really trying to get you guys to comment on our posts. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Yeah, what you want to talk
Maybe
about?
there's something that or maybe there's something if you want to be involved. We actually have ability for you guys to call in. So if you want to call in and talk to us, let us know. Hit us up. We'll give you the number. Shoot you the number. You can talk to us.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So Erica, tell us where they can find you at, love.
You guys can find me on Instagram, EricaBell89, and on Twitter and on YouTube, EricaBell89 as well.
And I am MadisonChaseFitness.com, One Mad Chase
Whoop,
on
whoop.
YouTube. And if you type in Madison Chase Fitness on Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter, I'll come up, Madison Chase Fitness.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, you can find me on all social medias is that a word? Cortez G West. Please hit me up. If you don't want to just hit me up, hit up Black Hollywood Live. They are BHL online. Hit them up and even go to iTunes, guys. Subscribe, rate us 5, comment, let us know what you want to talk about because we want to hear from you. Okay, people? See you next week. Did I just do that? I think I just did that.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.